Hey Patriots, Lars, Terry Anderson. I am here with the great Scott McKay, the Patriot Street Fighter, man. Just came out and listened to him speak today on a class on tactical civics here in Corinth, Texas at the Harley-Davidson store here. And man, I was so blown away by what you had to say today, Scott, and just blessed to hear it. Wanted to do an interview with you that we could share with Patriots at large. Across the internet, whatever. We also did a live stream earlier, but you know, you talking up there and then actually telling us your heart in person is a little different story. So, you know, I want you to tell us a little bit about what you got going on with tactical civics, and then you know, what's going on in your world today.
You know, tactical civics obviously has become my focal point. As I've said lately, I've had 4 warfare platforms here. Patriot Street Fighter Information was obviously our launch. Economic warfare, we followed up, added to it, and that's, you know, going after these big, powerful consumer products companies that are selling us toxins, carcinogens, neurotoxins, poisons in every single thing we buy, knowingly. So we launched Operation Tomahawk for wellness warfare, and then, of course, and the next level was, economic warfare, wellness warfare, was opening this bioscalar wellness center in Colleyville, kind of a, let's just say it's a solution to many of big pharma's you know, projections on society that are good. Many things they do great, some they don't, but we offer a bioscalar field where people can come and set in this conjugated photonic field, and it just gives the body a shit ton of hyper healthy energy and activates that God-given immune system.
And you have a facility where you can go and do this at?
Yeah.
You said it's in Colleyville?
Yeah, it's at Terra, T-E-R-R-A, Quantum Recharge, Terra, quantumrecharge.com. If you land on the website, you'll do a drone shot coming into it, cruising around, show you what it looks like.
Nice.
So that was, again, my incursion against the big pharma machine for the things that they're doing wrong, outside of things they do great. And then, of course, Tactical Civics became the 4th warfare platform because I discovered David's work 3.5 years ago about the restoration of the constitutional county grand juries around the country.
Yep.
Because we get no remedy. We get no remedy in anything because the legislatures are captured, Washington's captured, the courts are captured, the agencies are captured. So many crimes are broken by quote unquote those people in these pieces of architecture, and it doesn't matter what they do, they're never prosecuted, ever prosecuted. And they're never going to be, they're not going to prosecute each other. And so we return back to the constitutional county grand juries across the country, which was put in place by our founders, which is how the country used to run before they start gobbling up chunks of the 1871 Organic Act. Became a U.S. corporation. They just kept gobbling up chunks, so we have no power, no control. That gives us legitimate constitutional reach and power and remedy because the grand juries at the county level can investigate anybody they want, anytime they want, for any reason they want, or for no reason at all. And that's called oversight. And the people that we need to bring the heel inside of the constitutional framework is the political class and their minions, whether it be law enforcement or the judicial system that they're using against
weaponized DOJ.
Weaponized DOJ.
I'm a victim of that right now. You know that.
Your J6 bullshit.
Yep.
It's like, you're not going to get remedy. We, the people, outnumber these bastards by the millions in this country and by the billions on earth. And we got to stop sitting back, taking this beating from these people because we think that they have true authority. They don't. They don't even have jurisdiction over us.
Right.
This is completely pirated, bastardized operation that they're running. They don't have any legitimate constitutional power.
But they still enforce it, or they try to enforce it, and until people stand up together and stand up, and that's why, you know, some of the stuff I was hearing today, Scott, about tactical civics was, you know, because I've heard a lot of things in the last 3 years, you know, like, you know, I woke up hard 3 years ago, pissed off, you know, but then you hear all these different things about what's going on, and we hear about, you know, the United States becoming a corporation, but then it's like, you're flooded with all this information, and you're like, well, now what do we do? You know, and that's where we need to get to, is now what do we do? So Tactical Civics gives us a plan to move forward in that area, right? And so you're behind these guys 100%, you know, I respect what you guys say. I've seen you before you were speaking for Tactical Civics, just being the Patriot Street Fighter that you are. You know, we want to have our own voice. We want to be able to speak out, but we can't just be a lone guy out there doing it by ourselves anymore, because the DNC and the elite globalists, they're stacked up against us. They've got a machine, and until we bond together, until we form up together, we're going to be picked off one by one.
Right. And the Republicans too. We got to fight them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crime syndicate. I don't care what party it is. They've proven it for decades under my watchful eye, because it was
We see how they vote. We see how they vote.
All of it. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's bullshit. It's bribes. It's money. It's influence. It's power. It's prestige. It's privilege. It's access.
Yeah.
It's insider trading. It's the whole gamut.
Yes.
And look, I bought into it. I was a Republican. I was headed for I believed I was going to get the U.S. Senate one day.
Right.
I spent 16 years of my life navigating through that bullshit, that architecture, and you realize this machine's corrupt.
Yep.
And I see that the people that end up in power, it's like the ones that'll hang on the longest, that'll oftentimes lick enough boots long enough until it's their turn. And I saw people in California 15 years later, now running for the state legislature. And I'm like, are you shitting me? That guy? And I'm like, come on. And I'm like, look, there's good people, but you have to be somewhat capable, qualified.
One thing
to
that
be able to do what needs to be done in this world. But just because somebody hangs on long enough as a minion, a hanger on, a bootlicker, because they want to get into a position in time and they're going to earn their way in, that's bullshit. We need the best and the brightest in everything we do.
One thing I really identified when you were speaking today, Scott, is you were talking about, you know, how, you know, people said, you know, well, why don't you run for office? Why don't you run for office? And, you know, people said the same thing to me. I got a loud voice. We want to talk about this stuff, but I would never, first of all, you know, I'm not the poster child for that, you know, but to be a political activist, to hold other people accountable is where I find my niche, and that's the only place I ever want to be. So, you know, these people that are out there talking about our government, and, you know, and we've got people that are running for precinct chairs and all this stuff, and we want to bring them up through whatever party we can, but they have got to be held accountable by guys like you and me that are just going to go, you know what, you're full of shit. You're not, you know, you just said something to me that you were going to run on this platform, and as soon as you got in there, you're not doing what you said you're going to do.
Which is every one of them.
Right. How do we stop that? Is it
one.
term limits? Has got to be there.
Well, look, no. There's no remedy there. Every one of these factions that take their seats in are to a corporation. That's the problem. You have the U.S. corporation. You have all the states that have corporations. You've got courthouses are corporations, again, with Dun & Bradstreet records. All of these.
You said that, you mentioned that there's a Dun & Bradstreet rating for courts, like for a specific judge in that court.
Yes.
So because they're making money, it's like how much revenue can you make in this court? So you then get a Dun & Bradstreet rating for being a judge or being the judge of a specific court.
The court is a bank.
Oh my God,
that's why.
Insane.
Okay, this has to happen in 3 days, and after that happens, now you have 30 days for this action, and then it's 45 days. Every single one of those actions create a payment. They create a bond. It's created a surety bond, and you go, and there's a trust, and then it's paid out of your subsidy.
How do we overcome the corporation?
I just told you.
Tactical civics. But that doesn't disassemble the corporation. The corporation's still there. Does it hold them accountable?
Yeah, but I think inevitably these corporations have to be dissolved.
Right.
Jefferson warned us about this. That he felt that in the future that our grandchildren could wake up on, because of the corporations and the banks, we would wake up on the land of a nation that they once conquered, because they're the enemy.
Yeah.
Look, we all have corporations that do business. These people, our problem are corporations. These corporations masquerading as governments.
Right, you said that too. That they're set up to govern.
They're masquerading as governments.
Right, to govern us. You know, we'll set up a corporation to govern these people.
So, like, and I know this is an interview, but this interview is important because people have to understand. We can remedy the elections. We can get completely fair elections.
How?
Well, we can once we go through the process of the world being exposed and there's finally a pushback. I don't care how much they fix it. We have got to get government out of corporations. All the seats in the nation are unseated. They've been vacated. Except 7 states have reseated. 7 states have reseated their republics. But the federal government's constitutional seats have been vacated. The presidency's been vacated. These state legislatures, governor's mansions, they're vacated. They are now seated inside corporate structures.
Right.
They have a constitutional right, not a constitutional. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the corporation, not the people. We can't win that.
This is what you were talking about
Their hands
earlier.
are tied.
If y'all haven't seen this, y'all need to see Scott's speech that he did today. It's live on Patriots at Large, and I'll share it over to Scott, and he can put it on Patriot Street Fighter. But you know, Scott, you've been doing this for 30 years, and you are, when you speak, you know, I like to get out and talk, and I'm yay, rah, rah, let's go kick their ass. But I don't have the wealth of knowledge that you do behind it to be able to articulate that the way that you do. You did a great job today. I'm proud of you for doing that. I'm proud of what you've been doing. We want to continue this fight. How can people help with you and what you're doing?
I think, you know, to help me, I think the most important thing people could do is go to Tactical Civics, watch that 11-minute video, watch the video.
Yep.
Once it's done, smash the red button, pay your $5 and join your chapter. You're going to say, well, I want to find out who's here, are there any? That's not what I just said. I didn't say find out who.
Smash the button.
I didn't say go read the books, go do your research. Look, playtime is over. We're long fucking past trying to become educated on what to do. It's go time.
Yeah.
And if people are going to, I want to see if this feels right, fits right. Listen, what have we accomplished at Patriot Street Fighter in 3 years? We've got a lot of shit done.
Right.
What am I doing with my time right now? I'm not in Tactical Civics.
Right.
I'm not part of it.
But you're promoting it because it's a good platform.
All of the resources I own to fuel the movement to get these county grand juries in a position where they can deliver justice. And we can't do it until we get 3,400 counties, all of them, fully seated or staffed, not
So
staffed.
listen to this.
We need 3,400 counties with 1/2 of 1% of each population in a chapter. And 1/2 of 1%, we have the numbers to then put forward a motion to the DA of the courts to constitute a grand jury.
And they have to do it.
Well, of course they do.
Right.
So once we have the chapters filled out, there's going to be a lot of things we don't have to do because they're going to realize, holy shit, these people just assembled nationwide. They learned the Constitution now that the cat's out of the bag. What the hell are we going to do? What you're going to do is you're going to do what we the people are going to tell you to do.
The people.
So this is, if somebody wants to help my mission, smash the red button.
Right.
Get
On
connected.
tacticalcivics.com.
Yeah, they'll find you. Don't you worry about how do I get in contact. Don't you worry. They're going to call you.
We need organizations that are organized. We're working with American Patriot Group. We work with the January 6th community. And even in that community, we're not trying to change law or set up grand juries, but we're just even trying to help just the people under political persecution. And we're realizing how important organization is. If you're not organized, man, the Antifa and the BLMs and the DNCs of the world are going to chew you up and spit you out.
Look what you saw in there today. I said, anybody here from the American State National?
Yeah.
Bunch of hands went up. Anybody here from the Republic of Texas? Bunch of hands went up. Anybody here from whatever the organization is? Bunch of hands go up.
Right.
This movement, because it's rooted in the Constitution, which is in our DNA,
can bring
is
them
bringing
together.
Groups together.
Yeah.
The groups, the work's done. The groups are there.
Yeah.
Organizations are there.
And that's what we need. We need an a lot of people get offended when you talk about an umbrella group. It's like, well, no, my group's important. Get your ego the hell out of the way. You know, join up with with like-minded people. Have some central pathway to reformation for our country. And if you don't, then get out of the way.
Just move off the side of this road, stay there in the dirt, in the berm, whatever.
Right.
Move out of the way.
Right.
We need battlefield patriots that are ready to go. Look, we have to unite the clans. We have to unite the clans.
That's right.
Because they already showed us they are geared up to take us out, to kill us.
It's crazy.
They did it all over the country and the world. They turned hospitals into the 21st century killing fields.
You ever heard of the sedition hunters?
Pardon me?
The sedition hunters?
No.
They're the ones that are going after all the J6s. They go through the tapes and then they call their local congressman. So they're trying to say that the people that were there that day were seditious. And so they're trying, so these guys are like a well-oiled machine. That's what we're working against. We've got to be better, faster, harder, meaner, tougher.
It has to be when they try to come into your county, they can't. Because there's a grand jury, number one, that's already investigated their actions, which is unlawful, unconstitutional, and they can have their certified standing militia,
Yep.
who is the enforcement arm of the county grand jury, by way of Jefferson, Madison, Washington, and Hamilton and company. This is their architecture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why they put "We the People" in the biggest letters in that document,
Right.
to drive the point home to you people who don't understand you have power over us, and you assholes that are going to try to be tyrannical force against them. They
have
own
a
you.
path to shut
They
you
own
down,
you.
though, right.
They're trying to show you we the people own you.
Yep.
We own you. We tell you how we want our society to operate. You carry it out as a representative. The days where they think that they tell us what to do are coming to an end. There's Congressman Luttrell, Marcus Luttrell's brother, was a congressman on a chopper with Ann about 3 weeks ago. She's explained to this to him. He goes, "No, you're wrong. We are over you. We're over the people." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
This guy has a lunch bucket education on the Constitution. He's a congressman, and he actually thinks that they're given power over the people. It's time to move Luttrell the fuck out, people. He's a congressman in Texas. Bring the numbers. He's a Republican. He'll find his cheaters in there to help him
Yep.
stay in. Get his ass out.
There are so many.
I don't care if he's military. I don't care what he is. This guy is not serving the people by the Constitution. Get him out.
Well, we have the dirty dozen that were just in there that voted to impeach Paxton, you know.
There you go.
I mean, there's so many. I mean,
They're
we've got
criminals.
Yeah, they are.
The Republican Party is
Yep.
loaded with fucking criminals.
Yep.
People got to get it in their head. They think it's a virtuous party. Hey, I drank that Kool-Aid for decades.
Only as virtuous as you hold them accountable to be.
If there's
know?
look, Bill Ogden says it best. He's a school teacher. He said, "Look, anytime I walk out of the room, I know sooner or later the good kid's going to throw an eraser,
Right.
right?
Right.
There has to be oversight.
Yeah.
These assholes have no oversight. They have an open road to commit any crime against the people they want.
Yep.
Why? Because they erased the constitutional county grand jury from our knowledge and our county governing architecture.
See, I'm just grasping this today. The county grand jury and a county militia.
It's a certified standing militia, which means the grand jury has the responsibility to have an enforcement arm,
Right.
which is what it was always supposed to be. There weren't supposed to be state police arms. There was not supposed to be federal police, period.
Right.
Like zero.
Right.
All these federal agencies
Government.
bearing weight on the counties and states. These are violations of constitutional states' rights. All this bullshit is unconstitutional. FBI, DOJ, NSA, CIA, ODA, all of it. It's unconstitutional. You think that our founders who had privilege, prestige, title, nobility, do you think they fought a war so they could then give tyrannical power to somebody behind them?
No, absolutely not. No. And that's where we're at.
Yeah,
but that is where we're at.
Yeah, we're doing this so we can have these people come in and create agencies to rule over the people. We're taking on the British government and this gruesome military might, because we don't want any tyranny, but we're going to set up a constitution so they can bring agencies in. Right.
Well, actually, they did that without our
did.
permission in 1871, right? So we had it the way
Who
we
did
wanted. Who you told me? You said
Criminal fucking politicians.
There you go.
Scumbag fucking politicians.
Who was
did it.
underneath who was president at that time?
It was Ulysses S. Grant.
Ah.
He was probably under another bottle, half wasted when they brought it to him. But we had congressmen. They're criminals. They take payoffs.
See?
They take bribes.
Truth bombs.
They take
all the
bribes.
way, guys.
They're
You
threat.
think it's not happening? It is.
Listen, I don't care where you live. I guarantee you, you audit your county government, you're going to find a scumbag in there that's ripping you off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying everybody in county government is scumbags. I said, we're going to
You're
find
gonna
one.
right?
We proved it in Lawrence Township. Bill Ogden started snooping around. What does he find? They're stealing from the people. Lawrence Township in Clearfield County, PA. This bullshit's going on all over the fucking country, people.
Yep, absolutely.
It's time we outnumber these scumbags. We outnumber all of their architecture. It's meant to oppress us. It's like Auschwitz. Why didn't these people?
Why
They
did
got
they say
30
they're
prison
being
guards.
led into the freaking rail carts?
Right.
And there's hundreds of thousands of them. And there's 30 guards.
I don't get this thinking. If I'm gonna look,
stand up, don't die on your feet, not on your knees.
yes,
Right? Come
for
on.
Christ's sakes,
Yeah.
I want to be killed outside of the car,
Yes.
right? But I'm going to take one of these Nazi scumbags well, I can't take him with me. He's going to hell.
Right.
I'm going to the promised land.
Right.
So, anyways,
man, Scott, it's been so great. I don't want to. We could probably talk for 2 hours, and it's great to catch up with you.
somebody
Man.
stop me,
Right,
please.
exactly. But so Scott will go and go and go and go. He told me earlier he was saying he's going to go for 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 weeks. Like, geez, I better get something to eat. So, but man, I just wanted to, first opportunity I had to interview Scott. We've met before, seen him before, live streamed with him before. We're just grateful to have you come on tonight, today with Patriots at Large. We're going to share this out over all of our social media. I'll kick it back to you. The word needs to get out, guys, that there is a plan in action. There is a plan of action. All you have to do is sign up and get involved. I believe that this is a good tool for us right now. Is it the tool? I don't know. We're going to find out, but if you don't try, you don't know. So, Scott, thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for what you're doing for the J6ers,
it,
and we're gonna back your organization. Okay. We're gonna talk about it on Patriot Street Fighter because we need people to know you're out here fighting for these guys.
All right, I appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
The great Scott McKay, Patriots at Large. Be bold and be strong. We love you.